What is up, everybody? It's your boy Rogue here. So today's video, I'm gonna bring you guys my 3x Dark World deck profiles that I took to locals in my most recent vlog. If you guys haven't seen that vlog, check it out. And yeah, man, I had fun playing this deck. Dark World was a harder deck than expected to play. Tons of different combos with the new support. And this deck list I created was essentially made specifically for the tier limit matchup. Unfortunately, went on to locals, as you guys saw in the vlog. I didn't play against any tier, which is kind of why I did meh. But nevertheless, I think the list is very solid for a good Dark World beatdown deck. Let me show you guys what my thoughts and opinions going into the tournament was like. So I didn't want to overdo it with the high level monsters, so I kept it very minimum. I ran one of the new guy, the Rain Buick's Over King of the Dark World. His effect's really good. When he can add a level 5 or higher from the deck. And on top of that, if he's discarded from the graveyard by opponent's card effect, special one level for a Dark World monster from the deck in either field. And he has another monster, you can return him. Special summon this card from your graveyard by returning one level 7 or higher Dark World monster you control to the hand. I'm not a Dark World expert. He seemed really good to run as a one of. I don't know how he's ran in like the multiple builds. Keep in mind, guys, when I went to locals, I didn't look at any Dark World deck profiles. This is all my own ideas, just reading the cards and doing it the old school way. Like when I build decks, I like to do it the old school way of Yu-Gi-Oh! And just like try my own ideas out. So I ran one of him. He seemed pretty solid. One Grappa. Now I know this is kind of like blasphemy from what people was telling me at locals. You're in 3 Grappa in the standard Dark World build. I ran 1 Grappa only because like I didn't want to brick, because this is like I think it's a 44 card deck if I'm not mistaken. And I know Grappa's good when you pitch him off a card effect. He can pop a card. And he's like the best boss monster. He used to be a starter deck, or a structure deck. Super rare or ultra rare back in the day. He used to be this guy back in the day, but Grappa's good. You know, guys already know what Grappa does. And then if he's discarded by opponent's card effect, he can look in the opponent's hand and then discard a card. So pretty solid. I ran him as a one of. 1 gold, 1 silver, like we used to do back in the day. Who remembers back in the day with Yu-Gi-Oh, where gold and silver was ran in non-Dark World decks or the Dark World mirror match? So if a Dark World guy used to get rid of your guy, used to take a silver or a gold to pop their cards. Good time. Let's run them as a one of. Just have extra bodies. They're pretty solid. They just get free summons. 1 danger Bigfoot, 1 danger Thunderbird. I don't know if I should have ran multiples or not, so I just kept it as a very minimum. 1 Sukanoko. Thunderbird was decent. Bigfoot was alright. I mean, they were all pretty solid for what it's worth. You just really want to use them to get rid of your Dark World monsters, and if they don't get hit, or if they get hit, you get to draw. So they're pretty solid. I just ran them all as a one of, to, like minimum bricking and try to pop off. Now here for the turbo aspect of the list. 3 Brow, broken, best card in the deck. If he's pitched, you draw a card. Pitched by the opponent's card effect, draw 2. So if you get the fusion out and you make your opponent's card effect say pitch a card, you can draw 2. Really good. You run 3. This is a staple. Genta's amazing, bro. Like when I first read this card, is like rushing to it, like build his list. I'm like, this card is mid. But when I read like he could special summon himself, I'm like, bro, you pitch him to add gates, you can bring him back. Like in a rank 4 back, bro, he's amazing. Need 3. I think even a regular build runs 3. 3 Danger Mothman to run off the monsters. There's 18 monsters, very low for Dark World. I know most lists run like 25 monsters, but those are standard. Those are standard builds that runs an extra deck. That's whole goal is to like hand loop you. There's like a whole hand loop combo with silver, which is insane. But for the structure deck version, we can't do that. But we got 3 Mothman, mainly because Mothman's a Mothman. He can draw a card. He has an 18 body, pretty standard. Card destruction, broken. 3 Dark World dealers. People told me not to run these, actually. Mainly because, like, with tier limit, they can get their effects off. I just didn't care. Like, I just wanted to run this deck all gas. Just, like, draw cards and, like, pitch cards and just try to attack for game. That was, like, my whole goal. 3 Drag Down to the Grave, same concept. Like, Drag Down actually wasn't terrible. Like, people told me Drag Down is terrible, this format. Considering I didn't play against any tier, like, this card was good. Like, it was really good. Didn't have any complaints. Getting rid of hand traps, getting rid of problematic monsters for later, and just getting that hand knowledge is really good. 3 Dark World Ascension. This is one of the best cards for the deck. It's the fusion. During the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Fiend fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing materials mentioned on it from your field or graveyard. If you're fusion summoning a Dark World monster, this way you can also discard monsters as material during your main phase. If this card is in the graveyard, you can add this card from your hand and discard 1 Dark World monster. Now, I kind of play error. I probably could have went like X11 if I realized that. Cause I kind of skimmed through this card. And you can use cards in your hand as material by discarding them. That's insane. I messed up, and it cost me a game, round one. However, nevertheless, this card's really good. It's insane. It's a quick play. Like, what? 3 Dark World Archives. I know most real builds run 1 of, but since it's a structured build, we ran 3. During your main phase, you discard 1 Dark World monster, and if you do, Dark World monster you can currently control gain attack equal to the level the discarded monster had in the hand times 100. To the end of the turn, if this card's original type is Fiend, discarded by your card effect, or by the effect of a Dark World card, your opponent's card effect. Even during a damage step, you can discard 1 card, draw 2 cards. Pretty solid for what it is. However, it just never really got it off. I kept getting it stuck with danger monsters, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I like this card. I ran 3. 3 Dark World Puppetry. This is one of the reasons why I thought I had a chance in the meta. Tier elements. Play against tier elements, banish their tier cards. Pretty simple concept. It's quick play, freaking soul release. Like, why wouldn't you run it? Target 3 cards in graveyard, banish them, then discard a Fiend. Like, banish 3, discard a Dark World card, get a Dark World card effect. It's insane. You run 3. And 3 of my most hated cards in the deck. Now, I know a lot of you Dark World connoisseurs, but man, this card is insane. The card's trash, bro. Like, this card is so dated. Like, you gotta have, okay, all your Fiends gain 300 attack and defense. That's cool. Once per turn, banish a Fiend from your graveyard. Discard a Fiend monster, draw a card. Why can't it just say banish 1 to draw and then discard? But no, it has you have to banish a Fiend, discard 1, then draw. It should have just said banish, draw, then discard. That would have made this card 10 times easier, but nope. They force you to have a Fiend in hand already, which is kind of like, it makes this card really slow when you have a handful of spells or whatever, but I guess in regular builds it's not bad, but even if this card can kind of brick if you open it up with like dangers or if you open up multiples, like, it's so annoying. Another reason why I wanted to run this deck, and I thought it was cool, 3 Dark Smog, so I think for the tier matchup, this would have been insane. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster opponent's graveyard, discard a Fiend. If you do banish it, so if they try to use a tier element fusion, flip it up, pitch a Dark World, banish the tier material, and then bam, you're good to go. So I like it. Ran it as 3 alongside 3 skill drain, bruh. Konami's making structure decks better, man. I like skill drain. Pay 1,000, negate all effects on the field. It's insane. Dark Worlds don't really care about their field effects, so they mainly got hand effects. So yeah, this card is insane at 3. And 2 Dark World Punishment to round off the traps. I don't know how I feel about it. Never really got it off. When a monster will be normal or special summon, you can negate the summon if you do destroy that monster, then discard a Fiend. If a Dark World monster you control will be destroyed by battle by an opponent's card effect, you can banish card from your graveyard instead. So I figured if I played against tier and if this get milled, I can get protection. But all in conclusion, I think my list is decently solid. I would make a few changes, like add 3 Grapple for sure, maybe take out gold and silver. I don't know how I would make it. However, I definitely will make some changes. Probably take out some of these traps from my monsters. And then obviously the extra deck is just 3 fusions because card's insane. If you guys don't know what it does, and you might be thinking about picking up the Dark World deck. When your opponent activates a monster effect, normal spell, or a trap card, where you have cards in your hand, quick effect, you can activate this effect. The activated effect becomes your opponent discards 1 card. You're going to use this effect to graph up Dragon Overlord once per turn. If this fusion summons card owner control leaves the field because of opponent's card effect, you can special summon one of your Grapha Dragon Dark Worlds. That's a tongue twister to say the least, but you can bring back Grapha essentially. And then I think you can pop a card, discard a card. Anyway, it's insane. Can you guys let me know in the comment section down below? I don't know how it's ruled, but if your opponent doesn't have a hand, can you change the effect to discard a card? Some people say yes, some people say no. If you guys can let me know, that'd be great. Because we had a couple of ruling discrepancies at locals, and everyone at my shop was like 50-50 on how the cards should be ruled. So let me know. And my side deck going into the tournament, I knew Grapha was good, so I did side another Grapha. Never really came up. 3 Lilith for deck Devi. Green Tactician to get rid of like floodgate spells, never came up. 3 Dark World Lightning, just in case I played against something with like a lot of back row decks. You guys gotta remember, we're working with just structure decks. We have to use what we can get. I mean, it does target set cards, so the idea was good. It just never came up. 3 Pele is always because it's spot removal. 1 Dark World Brainwashing. It seems pretty decent. Your opponent activates a monster effect. If you have 3 more cards in your hand, you can target 1 Dark World monster field, bounces to your hand. If you do, the effect becomes a discard card. And then the best card in the side deck, 3 Deck Devi. This actually won me a game against Sprite. Actually, it should have won me a game against Sprite, but I couldn't draw a monster to poke for damage, and I lost. It has actually won me a game against Shizu Naturia. Like, I probably would have won if we would have played out game 3, but it is what it is. But yeah, man. Anyway, this is my 3X Dark World structure deck. Post your thoughts and opinions about it in the comment section down below. I think the deck played decently considering I didn't have any knowledge of how to play Dark Worlds prior. And yeah, man, this is the best way to have fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Just take a deck, don't look at no deck profiles, and let's just bring back just building decks naturally, just to have fun. Obviously, if you're going to an event, do as much research as you can. However, I like just building decks from scratch to see if I still got it. All right, it's your boy Rogue, and I'm signing out. Peace. See you guys in the next video.